So Penguin, would you like to go ahead and do those honors and introduce these two glorious players?
Well, in the top right spawn location, playing as our blue Terran player for Team Liquid, he's just 2 games away from winning this best of 9 show match. It is Bunny. And spawning in the top left spawn location as our red ZvT player for Team Acer. He grabbed a first game a couple of games ago, but he's really got to make more than just that happen here, as he needs to win 4 of the next 5 games to claim victory. It's none other than Nerchio.
Winning 4 games out of 5 is in no way impossible, though. He's already taken 1 game, just got to repeat the process 4 more times without allowing Bunny to get 2 more wins. But all in all, this is looking quite good. Of course, you can vote if you're tuning in live on the Twitch stream to let us know your thoughts. Just use !vote and then either Nerchio or Bunny. Currently, 61% of you think Bunny is going to take this series. Compare that up to currently the scores if we plug it into Aligulac. Aligulac's slightly more pessimistic for Nerchio, I'm going to be honest there. And with a gainer, is this an 11-11 coming down? It is. Ooh.
It's a 12-12 coming out of
no,
Bunny
it's a 12-12.
here. So
okay.
basically the same thing. It's a little bit more economic. This is, I would say, kind of good for Nerchio, because the game Nerchio won was a game where he defended a cheese that he had not scouted with excellent control. And if he can pull that kind of a performance out again, he could find himself in a pretty good spot this game.
Nerchio
and he's eating out the Overlord, going right towards the Raxes.
I was going to say that. Nerchio is going to scout this, like, really freaking early. He is going to see it, right? Yeah, he is.
Yeah, he already should know that there might be something up, because there's no CC, there's no Rax at the base. There could be a CC first, but he should see these in about a second. Yeah, he sees the SCV, and there he sees the Raxes. He knows what's coming his way.
So, in terms of defense to this, the important thing is that a bunker isn't allowed to come down. That's always a little bit annoying. Already we see a drone being pulled ready to deal with that SCV should it try to do anything sneaky like that. Next thing is a couple of lings are going to be needed. The important and the big aim is going to be not to allow too many Marines to get out onto the field or try and get there, because that's when things can get scary.
So, Nerchio saw the amount of SCVs that were pulled, which should tell him how committed Bunny is here, which is not very much. Bunny is going to be continuing SCV production behind this. And Nerchio has some good control so far, already taking a good amount of health off that SCV. A lot of drones coming down now. He does not want to allow these Marines to get into that bunker. Good focus fire from Bunny to start things off, but a bit of a surround coming down with these drones. Looks like the bunker will not be allowed to finish here. Nerchio losing a lot of these workers, though. He's not really doing damage to the Marines. He's just doing a lot of damage there to those SCVs. And as a result, he finds himself in a bit of a hard spot with only 7 workers on the map right now.
Does have a lot of lings coming through, though. That spine caller frantically trying to be produced. The bunker, again, being constructed. An SCV managed to go up there, but it is taken out, preventing it being finished as of yet. There's no more SCVs over here either. That means the bunker, at least for now, will not be able to finish. The lings coming back in game, trying to get that surround on the Marines. 1 Marine goes down. A second and third getting quite low. 2 go down. This is nice control by Nerchio. Needs to make sure the Marine count stays in the low numbers. Is able to do that. Cancel comes down from Bunny. And for the moment, Nerchio's fended this off. But at what cost?
Yeah, the biggest problem is that, as I pointed out before, Bunny's not committing that hard to this. He's got 13 workers at home. He's got an orbital command. He has a much stronger economy than his opponent does right now. And while Nerchio held that off, he did lose a lot in the process. He lost 9 workers compared to 6 of his opponents, and he doesn't have the ability to make mules, which is, or call down mules rather, which puts him in a bit of a rough spot here. He's going to be able to continue killing off a couple more Marines, but Bunny's just continuing to produce Marines because he knows that the cost for Nerchio of making more and more lings is pretty substantial.
Nerchio has started droning yet again. He's got a fair number of lings here, though, so even the Marines that pop out with nice micro aren't going to have a particularly happy existence in their life. No. They get surrounded, die pretty quickly, torn apart by tooth and claw.
Alright, so no Queen is out for Nerchio, but he is producing nothing but drones now, so he is starting to close the gap in the drone count, which is pretty good for him. More and more of these Marines are spawning. He's even pulling an SCV to try to get some of these Marines home. That's not really going to work. It's kind of interesting that Bunny's continuing to produce Marines out of this. I'm not sure if I like this. It's gonna work, I guess, because the Raxes are still going to be producing Marines, but I'm not quite sure why he didn't lift up and move home with that.
Well, overall, in terms of the resources lost, in total, there's now been 20 lings, 9 drones in exchange for 6 SCVs and 14 Marines. That actually leaves things pretty similar in terms of the resources lost. Slightly more down for Bunny. But trying to get back over there is going to take quite a while. So this is a very interesting game now. Nerchio has retaken the drone lead. He's got that spine for security. It's pretty level pegging at the moment, I'd say. Maybe a slight advantage for Bunny, just because he has got those mules there.
Yeah, Bunny has a slight advantage, as you mentioned, but the queens are almost done. Nerchio is going to be able to just poke away and just continue to pop down the larva injects. He's looking like he wants to play macro, which is good. Some people, when they hold up a 2-racks, will try to go for an all-in, which would not work at all against this 3-racks wall that Bunny is setting up here in the low ground. So it's good to see that Nerchio does seem to be more eager in just making more and more drones, and looks like he's going to be taking a third base now as well. I like that decision. He's trying to get the economy going as well as he possibly can. Still no gas taken for Nerchio, though. He's going to need to do that soon.
Nerchio, for now, just happily droning up, knowing that he's got kind of that grace period where, obviously off the back of a 12-12 proxy 2-racks, there's not that much in the way of an opportunity to follow up with much aggression straight after. And that's the right way to play it. A good Zerg player is going to have a good appreciation and great knowledge of when can I sneak some drones out, and being able to do that effectively, and then also identifying when he needs to then produce some more units to stop himself dying to a follow-up push, is really going to give Nerchio the opportunity to get that lead back in this game.
Now Bunny is adding on a lot of production here. He's up to a total of 3 racks here, a factory and a starport coming on in. So I think it is possible that we'll just see a very, very committed push from him off of just 2 command centers. We don't see a third on the way yet. We don't see a third really anywhere in sight for him with the amount of production that he has right now. He's getting stim. He'll probably start combat shields pretty soon as well, so they line up pretty well. And from here, it looks like he could also add in a Banshee or 2 if he so desires, or just switch over and make a couple of medevacs. So it's going to be a Viking to start things off. But either way, Bunny's looking like he's going to be going for a bit of a committed attack here. Nerchio has been focusing a lot on drones, but he's up to a good count now, and he could start to produce some units. He does need to really decide what he wants to do, though. He's got the double Evo chambers coming on down, and I assume we'll see Ling upgrades coming in. Yeah,
the Ling upgrades going to be quite likely. We do, of course, have the lair on its way. Could be seeing that same style of Mutaling, Baneling that is so frequent in Zerg vs Terran. Habitation Station, a good map for it. 4 gases again, another good indicator. The timing of that 5th and 6th gas will be quite interesting from Nerchio. One thing to note is he doesn't have the Baneling Nest. It hasn't really had a need for that this game compared to game 1, 2, and 3. No, 1 and 2, where he has needed a lot of Banelings to try and defend against the pressure. But due to the 12-12, there just hasn't been that big threat of a big infantry-based push yet for Nerchio to try and deal with.
That's the big worry, though. No Baneling Nest means that there will absolutely be no Baneling speed when this attack hits. At the very best case scenario, he'll have a Baneling Nest done and be able to make some slow Banelings, but Bunny could push out with a lot of bio here and be going up against just pure Ling, Queen, maybe some Mutalisk, because he's going to go for a drop play here. And Baneling Nest's on the way, but what is there on the map to deal with this? 4 Queens and 8 Lings. And 67 drones. He has overdroned a little bit, I think.
Waiting now to see if...
I don't know how he holds this.
There's not much there. Look at the army splice. No. 18 to 42. The Baneling Nest isn't down. The 1-1 upgrades won't be done. Bunny is pushing across with a very scary army. The 12-minute mark is a normal timing for this sort of push to come through. Nerchio may have thought that he's had basically a bigger period of safety than he actually did.
Yeah, and a lot of damage already being dealt here. A lot of drones going down to these Hellions. And the Hellions are also going to start poking away here at the Lings by the looks of it. GG's called already. And with that, Bunny puts himself on triple match point with a 4-1 scoreline.